Hello and welcome to the Hype Zone. I am Seth.
This is Lance.
And welcome to episode number 70. It's been a very long time. Life is happening. I'm sorry, everybody. Having a kid is really hard, but really fun at the same time. Anyway, so we're here in Phoenix, sunny Phoenix. It is Super Bowl week, and we have to do this. I know, Lance, you've been trying to get me to do a show every week, but now we have to do it, which is great. I'm glad we're doing it. We got to give our predictions. Um, we could just jump right into it if you want. I'm just going to fire away. I've been thinking about this for a long time. Both teams are like dead even in everything. Same points, like same defense. Offense is like basically the same. I'm sorry, the defense is not the same. Defense is way off. Kansas City's defense is kind of horrible. Anyway, I'm going to go. I want the Chiefs to win, but I think the Eagles are going to win, despite what Bailey and everybody thinks or says. Even though room for Schadenfreude for Bailey on Monday, but I have to say I think the Eagles are going to pull this one out, in my opinion. But I'll divulge more into that. Go ahead with your picks.
Well, Dan said the Eagles was going to pull it out. How I weigh it is you got the best player versus the best team. Patrick Mahomes finds a way. The way he played with a high ankle bone sprain with versus the Bengals after 1 week, when we know that the high ankle bone sprain can be about 5 to 6 weeks, even longer. And he still came out like Superman. I just can't underestimate him. He's getting in that Brady conversation. Like when you start saying that, you can't go against Tom Brady, it's like you can't go against Patrick Mahomes. He's going to find a way to go. So for Bailey's sake, and Mr. Z's sake, and everybody we know that represents Philadelphia, you want to go for Philly because you hate to see somebody get this close and then lose. I mean, it ain't like my Dodgers will go out in the first round or something like that. And then, if it was the championship, it's different. So for that being said, my hype is going to be the Eagles. My no hype is going to be KC.
I'm going to have to agree with you on that. And same thing, going back to Mahomes, he basically beat a Cincinnati squad on one leg and with no receivers.
That's what I'm saying.
Who was out last week? Hardman, Smith-Schuster. Edward Helaire is out. That defense, they bent, but they didn't break. But that Eagles offense is actually better than people think, in my opinion. And that defense for Kansas City, who's led up the most passing touchdowns all season at 33, is going to have to step up and find a way. They're going to have to have a couple stops out there to make this happen. I mean, Mahomes can take them so far, but that defense, Mahomes isn't out there when they play defense. So
right.
He's got to either be
Chris Jones
the one efficient guy in the league at quarterback so far this year. He's going to have to be the master efficiency guy again on Sunday. So I'm rooting for him.
Well, you said, Mahomes is not out there on defense. You know who is out there? Chris Jones. Chris Jones is out there giving out sacks left and right, being like a primetime player, one of them clutch players that you can depend on that can give you a big play. Similar to Aaron Donald last year in the Super Bowl when he was walking around and he was doing this right after he got to get sacked. So I can see Chris Jones, if the Chiefs are in that type of position, he putting up that hand talking about, crown me, give me my ring. With that being said, again, it's kind of hard to go against Mahomes. However, I cannot deny that Jalen Hurts has been putting on the show all season. If you look at what I like to say, our files, our ancient files, or our ancient videos, or architect, whatever, our past history shows. We talked about Jalen Hurts being MVP of the league. We thought that he was going to be MVP of the league. We talked about Philadelphia early in the season, how they kind of came out like gangbusters, and how Sirianni was a little bit better of a coach this year, giving the belief and courage to Hurt and allowing Hurt to just do what Hurt does. And he's always played with a chip on his shoulder from Oklahoma, from Alabama, losing that position, going to Oklahoma. And then he came into the league with that same type of chip on the shoulder, determination, that grit that you can't coach. All that stuff is uncoachable. And he's a dual threat. He's a runner and he's a pretty good passer. I'm not going to say great passer, pretty good passer, but you got weapons on the team. And with all those weapons, he's a good passer. Efficiency, stat number, I'm not knocking him. No hype.
They've got the most plays over 20 yards or more in the league this year. So that
Okay.
shows something. He's
he on the
doing
button.
something.
He hit you on the button. Hit you on the number. So
Yeah.
that's right. So I'm not going against him. All I'm just trying to say is that my homie, your homie, we all know him as Mahomes. No hype.
Yeah.
It's just hard to go against this
It is.
dude. This
It
dude is
is.
in the top 5 all-time quarterbacks
Okay.
right now.
So I'm glad you said that. I'm glad that you
It's
said
gonna
that.
light the fire.
Because if you just open a can of worms, I'm going to try to use. I'm not very good at using the Lance analogies, but like, when do we call Jordan the GOAT?
Jordan, we've been called Jordan the GOAT. That was again in our historical documents. That's what I was trying to say earlier.
But when did we crown Michael Jordan? When was he the best player
we started
ever?
crowning Michael like in the first 10 episodes of the No Hype Zone.
No. I'm not saying you and me. I'm not saying you and me. I'm saying
I always think it's always just
when did everybody say, "Oh my God, Jordan, you're the best"? When did they do that?
Well, they were saying that when he retired from the Bulls back in '98. I'm just gonna tell you no hype. I'm gonna tell you no hype. When he went out after the 50 greatest players was all chosen, they decided then that Michael Jordan was the GOAT of all GOATs because all of those greats was there. This is back in like 90, I believe it was 95 or 96, one of those years when the 50 came out. And then from there, because Kobe, again, I'm not talking crazy, but because Kobe did not take on, he didn't do anything different from Michael Jordan, you couldn't give him the GOAT. And LeBron is always being fought with because LeBron, he doesn't have the perfection of Michael, and also he has not the temperament that we used to seeing from that. Right. I know you was leading the Mahomes back to football,
right? But this is what I'm trying to say. This is what I'm trying to say about it is that we were crowning Jordan as the greatest player ever, even before he beat the Lakers in 91, right? 91, 92. So 91.
We were saying, he wasn't considered there.
You don't remember that? But why were we crowning him? Why are we crowning him the best? Even though, let's say, okay, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Because I remember hearing whispers back then when I was like 10, 11 years old, because 91, I was 10. Like, this guy is the greatest ever to lace it up.
He couldn't get past
why are we saying that?
You know what?
He was doing things as a basketball player that we have never seen before.
Well, see, you start talking about Michael. I go too deep. I go like 17, 90, 100,000
But the point I'm trying to make, Michael, is that Mahomes is doing things as a quarterback we have never seen a quarterback ever do.
Okay, then we could waste a lot of time.
We didn't waste a lot of time. No, this is a valid argument. Could we, even though he's so early on in his career, right? 5 straight AFC championship rings, or 5 straight AFC championships, I should say. And he's doing things, he's throwing on his back. He's throwing upside down. He's looking this way, throwing that way. He's doing things, excuse me, athletically, we've never seen a quarterback do, right?
Like Magic Johnson.
Sure, agreed. Exactly like Magic Johnson. So can't we say, hey, can we push Mahomes up into the upper echelon of like top 5, 10 quarterbacks of all time?
He's a top 5 quarterback.
Right. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, he's up there at 27 years old? He's probably already naturally. Like, if I'm going quarterbacks of all time, I'm going like, Brady, Montana, Manning, Elway, Mahomes.
You see it early. You see it early in them. You see the consistency. You see them coming out of Texas Tech. That this kid wasn't the same kid. Like, he wasn't one of those guys I was in the group. He was always different. He was like he just had that uncoachable type about him. You know what I'm saying? And he wasn't your typical dual threat quarterback. Because his run is improbable runs, his tosses are improbable.
But he's not even that fast. He's not even a fast guy. He will only run if he has to. They don't have design runs for him at all.
Right. If Larry Bird played football, perfectly healthy, it'd be Patrick Mahomes. Because Larry Bird was always known for having the highest IQ out of any basketball player. Yeah. Michael Jordan had the most deadly. He was an assassin, could kill you, and his IQ was master, genius. But the way that Larry Bird seen the game was so lightning fast that he was like 8-9 moves ahead of you. He just physically didn't have what Michael had. Saying all that to say this, because I got now getting what you're saying about earlier about Jordan being the GOAT and when we declared, you see the same similarities with Patrick Mahomes. That Patrick Mahomes, as soon as he got into the league, you knew something was different. And now the things that he's doing, you can't deny that he's not a GOAT. And like I said, you seen it in Tom Brady, but Tom still had a few games he had to prove. But Patrick, after he won his first one, we was already ready to give him the title.
Yeah.
Right no
even on Jordan's statue after, the 93 finals, what does it say in the statue? The greatest of all time.
All time. Right.
So yeah. And that is no hype as well. I mean, that's literally on the statue. So yes. I'm going to make the argument that Mahomes will go down as the greatest quarterback of all time if his career stays this way. And he's done this even without Cheetah. He's had a couple guys go in there, come and go at receiver, because he's got to throw somebody. But he has a great scheme behind him. He listens to Andy Reid, who's a genius. Bieniemy is a great job. Even though I think Andy Reid calls the plays, I think Bieniemy still has a hand in there, or Bieniemy calls the plays and Andy Reid can veto the play. But
I don't know the answer now to that.
Yeah, they scheme so well. They scheme like none other. And when you got Mahomes back there slinging it from every different angle and looking one way and throwing the other way, like look out.
Yes, the play call is beautiful. The way you're saying, like Kelsey almost tried to dish it off to what's that guy with the V last name? I forgot the guy's name. The receiver.
Scaldez Vantling. Yeah. Oh, they did like the hook and ladder.
Yeah,
like early on in the game.
It didn't work though. But just to land the plane on what you're trying to say is that Mahomes definitely had those intangibles that you cannot coach. And that no matter, you can be a person come up with the Bobby Boucher, Waterboy, greatest players of all time. You still need the players that can execute on a high level. You know what I'm saying?
Execute. You're right. Got to execute.
Right. Yep. So he comes up, he does things that, like we said, we've never seen before. He throws the ball in every different direction. He's sideways, underhand, over. He thinks like he doesn't have any limits to his game. And just to get back to what you were just saying about him not having Tyreek Hill, the dynamic that Brady had Gronk. Most of your great quarterbacks, they always had that number one receiver I can give it to, whether that was an actual wide receiver, a slot back who can hit out the backfield, or a tight end. And Brady had Gronk. Montana had Rice, everybody knowing that, but he still had receivers, Dwight Clark and all them guys that he can throw the ball to up the middle. Most of your great quarterbacks like that, even though everybody thought he was going to slip off when he lost Tariq, he didn't slip off. It just made him and Travis Kelce be in a whole other stratosphere as far as greatness. And I'm going to say this right here, and then I'm done. I won't say nothing else about the game. The game he played against the Bengals solidified his GOAT status. To play like that hurt. To do the things that he did, he was nothing less than most people would say spectacular. He was wonderful. It was entertaining. It was box office. Everything that he did in that game, it was the most entertaining, one of the most entertaining AFC championship games or just championship games I've seen, period. That's not a Super Bowl. So there go the plane.
I agree. And that is no hype. That is no hype, man. I agree. And again, I'm going to say, no hype, Eagles, hype, Kansas City.
Yeah.
Even though I'm rooting for Kansas City on a personal.
So you saying hype Kansas City, no hype
Eagles? Yeah, I'm saying no hype Eagles.
Okay, so you said they're going to win.
City. Yeah.
But you want to go with Kansas City.
I'm going with Kansas City, correct.
Okay.
Correct. Yes.
I'm vice versa. I'm hype Eagles because I want to go with the Eagles, but I'm no hype Patrick Mahomes because I've seen them do that when you go against. I went against them all against the Bills, and I thought Burrow. We've been talking about Burrow forever. I'm a huge Burrow fan. Still think he can come back, but Mahomes is Jordan right now. You can't do nothing against him, man.
Yep. I hear you. All right, man. You good?
I'm actually really good.
Okay.
It's really hard to kind of sleep these days because the free agent trade deadline's coming up in the NBA.
That's a whole other show we got to do, man. Oh, dude.
I got every jersey of Westbrook, and I just got a feeling that he's about to get shipped again.
Where?
So I'm gonna have to go call Fanatics and see. I'm thinking it might be Utah because when I'm hearing Utah
as well.
Yeah, they say Utah is tired of winning as many games as they win. That's hype. You should watch read the newspaper, but they want him there because he want to have fun. He can have the team. His numbers come off at the end of the year. and then they could pick up some much needed like leadership and Michael Conley, and they got some players that now you still got market in there, and Westbrook has found a way to always turn things around.
Yeah.
But he's just that type of player. He'll give you mistakes, but he'll go out there and fight. But I just feel like that's about to happen. The Kyrie thing, we'll talk about that later on. The Kyrie thing,
Yeah.
I don't know how that's gonna work with them. The Lakers, I'm gonna say this here first. I believe the Lakers got everything they need to win the chip. I know how crazy that sounds, but if LeBron is playing the way he's playing, AD is playing the way he's playing, nobody get hurt with the people that they got, the personnel that they got right now. Austin Reeves coming back and he's shooting out his mind. And Lonnie Walker's on his game. Schroeder's playing good. Westbrook coming off the bench. They could be the best team in the league. So
there you go. Well, I'd love to comment on that, but I have not had the opportunity to watch a lot of NBA this year, if any.
I get it.
So
I get it. I just throw that in there. So
yeah, I like it. All right. Well, there you go. There's episode 70 on a Monday evening here in sunny Arizona. We'll try to do another show
Gilbert or Chandler, your neck of the woods.
Yeah. We'll try to do another show right before the Super Bowl, and we'll go from there.
That's it. No hype.
All right. That's no hype, baby. All right, guys. We'll see you next time. All right. Later.